The U.S. men's national team have locked up Group D with a 2-0 victory against Australia. And in today's video, we're going to talk about my observations and takeaways for both teams. I'm going to start with Australia, and then we'll do the USA in the second half of this video. Today's match reaction is brought to you by FanDuel. And if you guys don't want to miss the daily World Cup uploads that I've been doing here on DeadBall TV, then make sure you guys hit subscribe. Starting with Australia, I must begin with Tony Popovich, who I'm going to be honest, his decision to bench Nestori Irukunda and Metcalf for this game should be considered by law a criminal offense. It should be a criminal offense what he did. I don't understand what some of these managers are on at this World Cup, thinking they are way smarter than they actually are. Imagine being a manager like Popovich, who you've already struck gold in match day 1 by having a lineup that was incredibly effective, and you got a 2-0 win against Turkey. Imagine that happens, and now you're going up into match day 2 against the United States. Similar profile team, there are some differences, but similar in how they want to play. And you say, you know what? Let me take 2 of my best performers from that first game, and let's bench them for Velupile and 35-year-old Matthew Leckie. I want to know what this man says in the post-match conference to try to justify this horror show. I want to know what lie he told himself that this was a good idea. Just by looking at the weaknesses of the United States. What is the biggest way to hurt them? Transitional attacks. Why? Because Tim Ream is old as hell and he's slow. Oh, if you're Australian, you just so happen to have one attacker in particular who is incredibly fast and incredibly scary in those positions, who literally scored a goal from transition against Turkey in match day 1. And his name's Nestori Irukunda. And you benched him for Matthew Leckie, who has 0 wheels whatsoever. For my American fans watching, this would be like if Pochettino decided to bench Balogun and Serginho Dest. Like, everyone would just be sitting around like, Pochettino is actually a double agent. Like, he is actually a spy sent here to assassinate the national team. That's what people would be saying. And you know what they'd be saying about Pochettino? Oh, it's the Argentine manager. He's the American Tata Martino. He really doesn't care. Tony Popovich is Australian. Tony Popovich is an Australian player with a lot of games under his belt. So what label are we supposed to give him? Has he been compromised by the Chinese? Like, why would he decide to make this decision? Like I said, I'm really looking forward to what his answer is. Popovich himself obviously realized this was a mistake, because in the second half, he subs on Nestori Irukunda and Metcalf, and would you look at that? It just so happens to coincide with the best period of the game for Australia. Now, maybe part of that was the States are up 2-0. They're not really pushing it. They did not press as much as they did in the first half. Totally granted. But at least Australia could hold on to the ball. At least Australia could attack. There was about 2 opportunities I can remember off the top of my head where you got the exact scenario you wanted if you were Australian. The scenario that Popovich should have been dreaming about for days, where it was Irukunda isolated with Tim Ream. And I think one time it actually got to Irukunda, and it actually did kind of result in a scary attack for Australia. I believe the second time the ball was just terrible, and it didn't actually reach him, but the opportunity was there. Well, you could have had 90 minutes of that, Mr. Popovich, if you would have made the layup decision of starting your most dangerous player. I like Mohamed Toure. I'm sorry for a second, though, if this is hate. When has Mohamed Toure by himself been able to get it done? When has he been able to get it done by himself? He is clearly most effective with Nestori Irukunda as well. Why is Popovich allergic to playing these guys at the same time? You know what's the storyline that I talked about in my Group D preview? Something that I was concerned about for Tony Popovich and Mauricio Pochettino was player selections. This is well documented. Go back, check the tape. I said, the number one thing that concerns me about Australia is Tony Popovich playing musical chairs with the 11. And he did it again. He couldn't help himself. He did it again against the host of the tournament. Mauricio Pochettino, on the other hand, we'll have more American takeaways in a second, I promise. I'm almost done venting. I'm furious, and I'm not an Australian. I can't even imagine how my Australian subscribers feel right now. I mean, is it a sackable offense? I mean, I don't know if it's a sackable offense, but like you can never make this stupid of a decision ever again. Ever again, or you got to go. That's kind of how I feel. Mauricio Pochettino on the flip side, I have zero complaints. Zero player selection complaints, zero substitution complaints. I think he's managed this World Cup to perfection. 10 out of 10. Popovich, I'd give him a 5 out of 10 because I think it's a 10 out of 10 against Turkey and then a 1 out of 10 here today. I mean, just shocking. Not only did your manager have an absolute howler, but I think the beginning of the game was probably close to as bad as it could have been for Australia. Now, for what it's worth, I don't think the defense was just getting shredded and like bleeding big chance after big chance. There are a lot of half chances. I'm kind of numb to that. That's really how Australia play. But you did concede an own goal. You did concede an own goal. And you know what's even worse than that? Something that I think sealed the game. When I saw this, I'm like, nope, there's no way Australia come back. A set-piece goal as well. Like, you committed the triple sin, my man. You had a terrible 11 decision, you concede an own goal, and you concede a set-piece goal, and you're Australia? That's the square of doom. It's the square of doom. You don't have the players to come back. When was the last time Australia came back down 2-0? Honestly, I have no freaking idea. I literally cannot recall a time in which that happened. So even though Popovich kind of realized how terrible his mistakes were and he tried to fix it, it's too late. It's too late. You're down 2-0 playing the host of the tournament. The States aren't going to allow you to score 2 goals without scoring one of their own. It was done. It was done. So I think, unfortunately, it was a characteristic Popovich performance and an uncharacteristic Australia performance in some ways. Look, Cameron Burgess does it again. He had the own goal against Japan as well. He was terrible when the United States beat Australia in a friendly. Got absolutely ripped to shreds by Haji Wright. I don't think Cameron Burgess is a very good defender. I've been very open and honest about this. I think he's clearly the worst in the starting 11, and I don't think he should be starting at the Asian Cup moving forward. Like, I think Harrington's good enough. Let's just end this phase of the Australian national team, but I'm not going to talk about that anymore. I think the positives for Australia is, number one, Volpato came on and looked pretty good, though I kind of think he should have got a goal. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but there was that one wide open chance right outside the box. Nestor Irakunda lays it on a plate for him, and he blasted 5 yards above the bar. I mean, at least get it on target. That was probably the most annoying thing that he did, but he was taking his man on the dribble. He was creating chances. Australia got notably better attacking-wise when he checked in the game, so that is a positive. And I think another positive is, yeah, when you had your best players on the field, you looked better. Shocking. I know, who could have ever foreseen that happening? Now Australia is going to go into match day 3, basically needing a point against Paraguay, and I think they probably will finish on a draw, which means 4 points for Australia. I guess what, a 0 GD, and they will be going through to the round of 32, where I believe they will be an annoying team for any opponent. Should disaster strike in that Paraguay game, or Tony Popovich has another horrible 11, then yeah, I think he's got to go. It's as simple as that. For the United States, I said in my preview that if the United States won this game by 3 goals, I would have them locked in as a quarterfinal team. And they won by 2 goals. That said, I do believe this is a quarterfinalist team. I really like basically everything that I'm seeing from the United States so far. And it's not just because, you know, I'm delusional now and I'm like, oh, the States can win. It's more like I'm looking at who the projected opponents are. I'm sure we've all seen this on our Twitter. You know, the United States is usually in this like bottom left quadrant over here. I mean, I'm seeing Bosnia, I'm seeing Egypt, I'm seeing Iran, I'm seeing New Zealand, I'm seeing Czech Republic. I'm not seeing anything that the States can't beat. The best team that I keep seeing en route to a quarterfinal is Belgium. And unless Belgium have a Herculean effort in match day 2 and 3, I think the States will beat them. I think they will beat them because Belgium is not as complete of a team as the States. I don't want to hear about the 5-2. I'm not saying the States is going to dominate, dunk on Belgium. It's going to be a 4-0. It's probably going to be a 3-2 epic game, maybe one of the best of the entire World Cup. But I'm confident now. Was it an amazing U.S. performance? No, but it was pretty good. I think if you want to be a negative Nancy, you'll say, number one, second half was slow once again. Which, I think important context, which nobody likes context anymore, the U.S. was winning 2-0. There was no need to go for it. The group is won, right? This isn't like even a Mexico-South Africa situation, match day 1, where fans at least have a point in saying, we should have gone for more goals. You've won the group. It's done. So why push it? Why go for more against an Australian team that was playing very physical as well? You don't want an injury. It benefits you in no way. But again, the haters, they will say, okay, second half was mid, fine. They will say U.S. didn't actually score a goal from open play because it was a Cameron Burgess own goal. I'll talk about that in a second. And the other goal was a set piece. All of that is, varying levels of true. They have different scores on the truth chart there, but I would still give this probably like a 7.5 performance from the USA. Maybe it doesn't feel as impressive because Paraguay was genuinely an 11 out of 10 performance. I've never seen something like that in my life. But you're also playing without Christian Pulisic. You completely dominated Australia, suffocated them in the first half. They couldn't breathe. I think in Paraguay, I was so impressed with the on-ball, prowess of the United States. Here today against Australia, on the ball was great, don't get me wrong, but off the ball was even better. Australia didn't know what to do. They didn't know. They could not string 3 passes together. They were getting frustrated. It was really good work. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Mauricio Pochettino looks like he has this team prepared. And if you want an example of that, you can look at the Alex Freeman set piece goal, which I thought was executed to perfection. And how freaking good was Alex Freeman today, man? He was good in the first game. He was really good here today. I feel like he deserves this. I'm really happy for him because I felt like he caught a lot of, I'm going to call it unfair criticism, and I think it was because he was an MLS player. You guys want my honest take on it? I think people would check the box score, they would see his fault mob rating, and they would say, oh, it's because he plays in MLS. That's my conspiracy theory on the situation. Now, is it Villarreal and all of a sudden he's good now? Okay. I think Alex Freeman has been putting in pretty good performances for the USA for over a year now. And I think he deserved this moment. I thought he was really good. Weston McKennie has been, it's like he popped a Limitless pill, the Bradley Cooper movie. He's just making the right decision time and time again. His chemistry with Adams and Sergiño Dest is unbelievable, even with Malik Tillman, because they're kind of like positionless sometimes, drifting around. Super, super good, always making the right decisions, creating chance after chance after chance. Teams can't even get close to him because he doesn't want to dribble. He's just playing it first time into space. Again, just really, really high IQ football from Weston. Balogun's been an animal, man. Like, he's been so freaking good. He was so good on the own goal from Australia today. If Harry Kane and Mbappe weren't so freaking talented and didn't have amazing match day 1 performances, dare I say Balogun, deserves to be a mention in the combined group stage best 11. He's been that freaking good. Really, really impressive. And again, without Christian Pulisic, his partner in crime here today. Really, my only concern for the United States is what I've touched on previously, and that is they haven't really been tested yet defensively. I think we're all in agreement that Tim Ream is the weakness in the starting 11 because he can be exposed in transition. We saw this a few times against Paraguay. We saw it a few times in the second half against Australia. When the U.S. plays a super balanced team, what's going to happen? I think Turkey does qualify, and we'll see how the Turks look tonight, because if they lose against Paraguay and they're on 0 points, I don't believe they would be eliminated because, would they be eliminated? I think they would, because Paraguay would have the win, Australia would have the win. They would be eliminated if they lose tonight. So maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not actually going to end up being a good test. We'll have to wait and see. But that will be the first balanced team where it's like the defense is okay and the attack are both, pretty respectable. And I would like to see what the United States look like in that type of setting. Like I said, looking at the bracket, it doesn't look like another team will really have that kind of mold until Belgium. The biggest potential banana peel I see for the States would be Bosnia, because those dudes are super legit defensively. Very, very legit, but the counterattack is meh. It's okay. So, yeah, I would still expect a hard-fought victory in that situation for the USA. And I think I'll end the video by saying that I had 3 main concerns about the United States heading into this tournament, and all 3 of them have been addressed. Number 1, the desire level from the players. Were they going to step up? Were they going to take it seriously? Were they going to perform under pressure for the first time? And the answer has been yes, yes, and yes. Here today and against Paraguay. I don't think anybody's watching these games and questioning, like, do these guys care? Unfortunately, that has been a storyline for the past couple years, and I'm happy to be wrong about that. Number 2, Mauricio Pochettino's player selections. Said it earlier, I literally have 0 complaints. I think he's managed a flawless World Cup up to this point in time. Number 3, the form of Christian Pulisic. And I think this was actually addressed before the World Cup in the Germany and Senegal friendly where he was on demon time. and he was very, very good against Paraguay. Unfortunately, couldn't play today against Australia. Wasn't needed for what it's worth. I think that's a positive. Wasn't needed against Australia here today. If he's back on Captain America business, then yeah, I'm feeling really, really good about the USA right now. Of course, we got to see all the other teams play a couple more times. You know, I think quarterfinal is a realistic expectation now for this team. I'm not hearing anything past that. I think a round of 32 would be good. That would feel bad. That would feel really bad, especially beating Turkey in the next game. And that would feel, man, that would. I don't even know what I would be saying on that recap video. That would be, yeah, that'd be really freaking weird. Round of 16 is going to be a battle. Round of 16 is going to be a battle, but Pochettino looks like he has this team prepared. I'm going to end the video there, guys. You let me know if there's anything I forgot to mention down below in the comments. Are you feeling like a quarterfinal is a realistic expectation? What is your expectation for Australia? Do you think they can still win a round of 32 game if you ever believed that to begin with? I hope you guys enjoyed this recap. If you did, remember to smash the like button, hit subscribe so you don't miss daily uploads here on the channel. I appreciate you guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one.